Since Hyundai has the smaller Stargazer X and the larger Staria, you might ask, why do we even need the Hyundai Custin in the local lineup? Well, I drove the Hyundai Custin GLS Premium for the past week, or if I'm being honest with you, I rode in the second row captain's chairs of the Hyundai Custin GLS Premium for that past week in order to find out who this vehicle is truly for. So, let's do this. When I did my feature of the Hyundai Custin GLS Premium, it became clear in that video that there was indeed a lack of affordable minivan options in the Philippine market. Those who needed a family car would usually opt for an MPV, which, if we're being honest, isn't really a true and comfortable van. Which is why the Hyundai Custin GLS Premium, which retails for 2,080,000 Philippine pesos, is such an interesting offering. It bridges the gap between the smaller and more affordable Hyundai Stargazer and the giant Hyundai Staria. So, what sort of driving need does the Hyundai Custin fill, and does it perform its duty well? Let's find out. Here at Reagan's Rides, we do car reviews of SUVs, sports cars, trucks, and everything in between. So subscribe and hit the bell. Before we begin, a little disclaimer. This is not a full features review video because I already did that when the Hyundai Custin GLS Premium launched in 2023, which was last year. Now, if you want the full specs of this vehicle, you may go and watch that video by clicking the link above. Instead, what we have today is a driving and riding review video so that you'll know if this minivan will fit your lifestyle. So, let's get on to the driving part first. To be honest, if you don't have a family driver, or let's say a second car that's more driver-centric, then you shouldn't even consider the Hyundai Custin. You see, if you need a main family car and you don't have a family driver, yeah, the Stargazer would be a better choice. Heck, you could even go for any of Hyundai's SUVs like the Creta, the Tucson, or the Santa Fe, all of which are much friendlier to drive. You see, you can still drive the Hyundai Custin, alright? And it's easier to drive than, let's say, the Hyundai Staria, but it's not really the most ideal. It kind of feels like you're driving a boat, okay? It doesn't feel nimble, changing lanes is slow and sluggish. And even though it's a minivan, it still feels like a full-size van to drive. It feels big, alright? It feels really big compared to, let's say, the Hyundai Stargazer. Now, the reason why it feels big is because you have a huge dashboard here, plus you also have a long hood that slopes down, so it's challenging for you to gauge where that hood ends. In fact, my cameraman, Jay, he measured the length of the dashboard to the end of the hood, and you have the same length as the hoods of, guess what? Mid-size SUVs. Yeah, it's that long. So you cannot treat this like you're driving a minivan that doesn't have a nose, alright? You need to be careful when you're driving it in tight spots, especially when you're jockeying for position in, let's say, a traffic jam here in Manila. Now, because of the perceived size and the lack of agility of the Custin, this, my friends, is more suited for relaxed and leisurely drives, which, to me, is the true driving style of the Hyundai Custin. Now, if you do that and you drive around in eco drive mode, now you can expect to get 10 kilometers per liter in light city drives and as much as 15 kilometers per liter on the highway, which, pare, it's pretty decent for a minivan. Now, of course, if you're always driving in eco mode, it's gonna feel sluggish, it's gonna feel unresponsive, but hey, driving in eco mode would be the best, especially if you have senior citizens or small kids at the back, okay? The thing is, sometimes your senior citizen passenger would be in a hurry because they'll probably miss their doctor's appointment, so you can pop the Custin in sport mode and unleash the true potential of the 1.5-liter Turbo 4 gasoline engine. You see, the Custin GLS Premium can still do 170 PS and 253 Newton meters of torque. Now, it also has an 8-speed automatic transmission that is tuned really well, similar to all of the Hyundais that I've encountered. And you know that 8-speed automatic? Yeah, it gives me the proper gear at any speed, okay? Now the steering is also a bit of a surprise because I was expecting the steering to be light and a little floaty, but it's not, you know? The steering is nice and hefty, it's direct, and it's surprisingly better than a lot of the crossovers and SUVs in the same price category. But, you know guys, despite how good the sport mode is, despite how good the steering is, yeah, we all know that the driver's seat is not the best seat in the Hyundai Custin. So I'll stop yakking right now and go to the second row seats and enjoy the best seats in the house. Alright, so this, my friends, is the reason why you need to get a family driver when you own the Hyundai Custin, the second row captain seats. Now, if you're the boss, if you're the owner of this vehicle or somebody smart, don't choose the captain seat that's behind the driver's seat, all right? Always choose this seat, which is right behind the front passenger. Now, why did I say that? Well, that's because we have two buttons here. Well, a few buttons here on your armrest. With these are the buttons for your relaxation settings, all right? We have two relaxation settings here. If you press the first button, that will move the front passenger seat forward, so hopefully there's nobody sitting there, all right? And once that's moved forward and given you more leg room, the seat will now adjust to give you a half reclining position like this. See, it's moving. And this is just like a business class seat in an airline. So it's pretty good. Now there's a second button here. If you press that, it moves you to the center, all right? And keeps adjusting your footrest such that you're almost at full flat position here. And this, my friends, is the ultimate when it comes to relaxation in this price category. Yeah, for 2 million Philippine pesos, it doesn't get any better than this. Now, why do I say that? Well, for one, the second row captain seats also have heat and ventilation functions, which the front seats don't get. So that's a big plus. I have the ventilation on, and it's really, really cool. Now, another thing is, while you're in this nearly full flat position, you have a big moonroof here, so you can just look out to the sky, look out to the stars, and contemplate what you're gonna do next in your life. And that's pretty awesome. Now we also have a wireless charging pad right there in the middle. We have several cup holders. We have 4. I counted 4 here in front. Yeah, we also have your AC vents there, and we also have a ceiling mounted AC vent here if you want to keep your face cool while you're in this position. Now, there's also a set of privacy shades here so that the riffraff won't look inside your Custin, they won't see you. And the good thing here is these large windows for the sliding doors, they also open and close, so that adds a little bit more to the versatility of this van. Now finally, we also have a tray table behind the front seats, and that's where you can park, let's say, your burgers or your drinks or your fries, or that's where you can write stuff, and there's even an indentation there where you can park your pen. So yes, pare, this has almost everything that you'd want from a second row captain seat. I said almost because the only thing that's missing here is we don't get a massage function. Yeah, that would be awesome, but for 2 million Philippine pesos, pare, yeah, I'm not complaining at all. Now, there are MPVs out there in the same price category that also give you second row captain seats, but the Hyundai Custin GLS Premium beats them all out when it comes to the ride quality. You see, dude, there's nothing that can beat an actual minivan when it comes to the ride comfort. See, we have a really long wheelbase here. You see, the Custin has a wheelbase of over 3,000 millimeters. So that long wheelbase plus the wideness of this car, I mean, it's not even a word, wideness. The width of this car means that on the highway, yeah, it's super stable. It absorbs bumps, potholes, road imperfections very well. So you have a really pillowy and cushy ride here in the second row seats. Now, that's the reason why you should always get a family driver. As I said at the very start in this captain seats, dude, you have to get a family driver if you own a Hyundai Custin, because this is just the best way to enjoy this vehicle. Now, I'm pretty sure that a bunch of you guys out there are wondering what it's like to ride in the third row seats of the Hyundai Custin GLS Premium. Now, consider this. Usually, when you drive a 7-seater SUV, all right, SUV, not MPV, not minivan, 7-seater SUV. Usually, if you're driving that, nobody would want to ride on the third row seats of that vehicle because it's tight, it's claustrophobic, it's really hard to get in and out of, right? I mean, even let's say a 7-seater MPV like the Toyota Innova, they don't have a third row area that is as big and as spacious as the one we have here in the Hyundai Custin GLS Premium. You see, the Custin being a minivan, yeah dude, we have ample space here in the third row. Now, we can even split fold this, in fact, and as you can see, I've split folded it because I have my large piece of luggage here right beside me. So in order to accommodate that, plus all of my camera gear behind me, yeah, I had to split fold it. But even with the split folded the seats, I could even put a second person right here beside me. Although, yeah, if we do that, it's not going to be the most ideal situation, yeah, because it's going to be a bit tight, but it is doable. Now, the fact that we have second row captain seats here also means that the middle passenger will have enough space to stretch their legs because we have a nice little alleyway here. Now, as for the ride comfort and the ride quality here in the third row seats, dude, I'm telling you, it is comfortable, all right? It is very comfortable as expected from any minivan. See, we have large windows here. We have that nice panoramic moonroof there. We have the captain's seats here, so we have that nice alleyway. So it doesn't feel cramped. It feels comfortable. At 5'6", I could stay here even on a long drive and I won't feel nauseous. I won't feel like I got the short end of the stick, although I did get the short end of the stick because I'm not sitting right there on the second row captain's seats. But anyway, I digress. In terms of the ride quality, it's not too bouncy, all right? You could feel some of the road imperfections here at the back, but it's nothing that will make you nauseous. It will not make you dizzy, all right? And that surprised me because the Custin rides on rear torsion beam. So yeah, I guess the long wheelbase of this minivan plus the width of this car means that yes, it's able to effectively smoothen out all of the road imperfections such that you will have a nice and comfortable ride even here in the third row seats. Another great feature of a true minivan like the Hyundai Custin would be these power sliding doors and of course the low ride height. You see, at 174 millimeters worth of ground clearance, the Hyundai Custin is easy to get in and out of even if you are an elderly person or if you are a little kid. Now, another huge advantage of a true minivan like the Custin over MPVs or SUVs would be the cargo space. So, let's go! You see, most SUVs or MPVs would have nearly zero cargo carrying capacity behind the third row seats if you use the third row, but the Hyundai Custin here still has enough space behind the third row seats in order to accommodate a large piece of luggage. See? You could still put a large piece of luggage there and close this door without any problems. Now, as I said a while back, we can also split fold the third row seats here. See, I'm gonna split fold this. There you go. And you can put your luggage right here. There, and you could still put two passengers here in the third row seats, which makes the Hyundai Custin a truly versatile cargo carrying minivan. So, there you have it. The Hyundai Custin GLS Premium is best experienced at the second row, even if it's decent enough to drive in the unfortunate event that your driver takes a day off. The Hyundai Custin GLS Premium marks the return of the classic value-for-money minivan, a premium family vehicle that is more comfortable than the usual MPVs and easier to park than the larger family vans. It's a surefire favorite amongst those who have small kids, elderly folk, or just want to be driven around in luxurious comfort without breaking the bank. Thanks for watching.